1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. So when it comes to Virgo energy and Virgo operating from a lower vibration, when Virgo is operating from a lower vibration, Virgo can look like the biggest hypocrite ever. And trust me, I know, I get it, in the sense that basically Virgo will strive for perfection. And what will make Virgo look like the biggest hypocrite ever is because Virgo could be a bit judgy, and sometimes not even meaning to be judgy, judging everything that everyone is doing, having something negative to say about everything that everyone else is doing, and don't even realize that themselves may do that, in the sense that it's important for us to never say never. Like, it's so easy for us to say, I'll never do this and I'll never do that. And at that time in our lives, yeah, we would never eat this or never do that. But then as time goes by, it's a different time we're living in, different circumstances. And for whatever reason, we're doing something that we said we would never. So, Virgo energy is the energy that, even though like Virgos, when they care about you, they'll be super critical, super critical. It's like from that criticalness, it's like the lower vibration of this criticalness is someone being judgmental and harsh, where it's like they're constantly tearing other people apart and putting people down and thinking that they're better. It's like someone being like, it's like someone trying to, like, Virgo energy is one that struggles from being perfect, and there's no such thing as being as perfection. So this energy operating in a lower vibration might say in a conversation, those people over there, they're so horrible because they do this or they do that, or they eat this way and I don't eat that way. And it's like this person is being so judgy, and they're talking so much junk about people who eat junk and how they'll never eat junk, and then next week they're hiding and eating that junk, or next week they're hiding and doing exactly what they said, what they were criticizing someone else for doing. So it's important with this energy to kind of like see ourselves and other people and not judge, because one minute we're judging and the next minute we're doing exactly the thing that we judge and was crucifying with our words someone else for doing. And not even just that, like what we do when we're constantly judging and picking other people apart, like the people who we're judging other people to, and even sometimes the people that will agree with us and judge too, it's like they're making a mental note that it is important for them to hide a lot of things, because it's like, who wants to be judged by that judgmental person? So if someone is so judgy, everyone around them is going to keep everything a secret from them, because they don't want to be in the spotlight of that person's judgment. Another thing too with Virgo energy, lower vibration when it comes to Virgo energy, is like someone who may be a bit of a hypochondriac, someone who is constantly, hypochondriac and OCD, to where it might feel like a mental issue, where you leave the house and you're like halfway down the street and you turn back around and go back to make sure you turn the stove off when you haven't even cooked in 3 days. You turn around to make sure you unplug certain things that, you don't even plug in. It's this OCD mindset, the need for everything to be perfect, just worrying for the sake of worrying. Another lower vibration when it comes to Virgo energy is that Virgo energy is an energy that has to do with analyzing and digging deep. So with this energy being so good at analyzing and digging deep, this is where we'll analyze and pick people apart, and it's so easy for us to dive in and see everything that's wrong with them and totally miss out on the things that are right, to where we isolate ourselves from people and miss out on good relationships. You know, we isolate ourselves from people because they're not perfect when there's no such thing as perfection. Or this energy might thrive for perfection when there's no such thing as perfection. You know, Virgo energy also talks about like our routines, and even like, you know, our daily routines and how we approach things. And on the positive end, Virgo energy tends to be one that is often on time, unless there's other things that's like negatively aspecting that, like say Chiron or Saturn or any other or aspects or things like that. But because Virgo energy is, you know, one that's always on time, this is where someone might be, you know, very controlling of other people's time, to where it's almost like punishing if someone is late, or look down on a person because they're running late or they're not always on time the way how they're on time. Obsession over food is a lower vibration of Virgo energy. Depending on other aspects and placements in your chart, this is where someone can suffer from eating disorders, you know, where 1 minute, like where they have their weight goes up and down because 1 minute they're so controlling about their diet because of that tunnel vision, towards like you're taking everything out of your diet, but then it's like, you know, you're deficient because there's not enough nutrients, because you're not replacing it, taking everything out, and not realizing that everything requires balance. Balance is what is important. But more than anything, it's the whole judgmental thing. Like that playing with other placements really can make the Virgo look like a super hypocrite, to the point where, you know, others don't trust, you know, this energy, because you condemn someone for something and then you turn around and do exactly what you condemned the person for doing. You know, when it comes to working with, say, Virgo energy, the lower vibration again of Virgo energy is wanting to have everything so perfect and be such a people pleaser, and people pleasing to the point where this energy denies themselves of things, you know, what they need, putting everyone else, trying to be accepted, because obviously that's a sign of insecurity within, you know, issues within a person, not feeling that they're good enough, and trying to compensate for that by, you know, overdoing it for others. And it's like working with this energy sometimes, like say you work with someone with this energy on the lower vibration, it could make it feel super uncomfortable to work with them, because it's like they are doing too much, towards like they make everyone else feel anxious, because this energy can deal with anxiety because of the need for everything to be perfect and orderly, constantly in their head, seeking perfection and diving too deep, focusing on things that don't matter, missing out on the big picture, you know, having a very tiny view of something and not having the big picture. So because they don't have the big picture, they're isolated with their tiny view, because, you know, the judgment has pushed everyone and everything away, and people might come around, but at the same time they have resentment because of the judgment that they've once felt from this energy, so they don't feel like it's okay to be themselves. You guys, I'm gonna cut it here. If you guys are still here with me, I would love to hear about it. Please let me know by dropping me a orange heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.